Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Love Made Me Do It web series. Tonight we are at episode 3, The Great Balance, Dating and Career. So listen, if you would do me a favor, share. Make sure that you invite your friends, your family, your next door neighbors. Let everybody know that tonight is going down because we have some phenomenal guests on tonight. And so let's go ahead and share and get these numbers up so we can dive into this awesome and profound conversation on tonight. Come on in. I am super duper excited. Super excited. I cannot wait to bring on our guests on tonight. I know they're going to bring in some great insight and wisdom and a lot of fun to the conversation. So I cannot wait for you guys to meet them. And I'm going to introduce them in just a few minutes. So let's come on in. Let's come on in. Come on in and share. Come on in and share. Come on in and share. So, for those of you who do not know me, I am Jarius Sanford, the CEO of LevelUp Productions. And once again, we are so excited to have you, our special guest on tonight. All right, y'all got to get ready and brace yourself. Our special guest on tonight is none other than minister and model Walter Chahwanda from the UK. And we have Miss Jacqueline Fleming. She is an actor, a producer, and she wears many hats. She's just a straight boss, y'all. And so I'm super duper excited to have them to join in on this conversation. Like, this is a well-needed conversation. And so I pray that you all are sharing and you are ready just as much as we are. All right. So before we get started, we're going to have a quick commercial break. And then once that is over, I will return with none other than our special guest for the evening. Love can make you happy. Love can make you sad. Love can make you angry. A story of love. Urgency.
Oh my God, time for this. Bye.
Thirst. And destruction.
Oh, I thought you were getting coffee. Okay. You want to play game? Two can play that game. All right, so that was our trailer for the hit stage play Love Make Me Do It, which will take place on Saturday, August the 22nd in the wonderful city of Macon, Georgia. So make sure that you visit my website, www.levelupprostudios.com, to get your tickets and to get more information about the show. All right, so now it is time to bring on our special guest and dive into this conversation. And so I'm not going to kill any more time. I'm going to bring them on in. Yeah. All right, Minister, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
All is well. I am blessed. How's everything going over in the UK?
Everything is good. God has been good. We're safe and we're sound. So all is well.
Awesome. We are let's see.
I don't know, Miss Jackie kind of got knocked off a little bit, but we're gonna keep it on rolling, and she'll come on right back in. And so, yes, sir. First, let me go ahead and say that I am super excited to have you a part of this wonderful, wonderful web series, and to have you joining in on this subject matter is just even better. And so, I know that the insight and the wisdom that will be shared on tonight is going to just reach the masses. And so, I'm ready to really talk about it and get started. Amen.
Understood.
Yes, sir. And so I want to go ahead and get started. And Miss Jackie should come back in as we are talking. Let's see. I'm sending her a quick message. All right. So as I stated earlier on that tonight's topic is the great balance, balancing dating and career, and we know sheesh, that's a that is a well-rounded topic there, and I mean it's something that we need to talk about and kind of have a conversation about just to help people. A lot of people are not as knowledgeable as to how to create that balance and what to do and how to go about it. And so I do have an opening question. And I believe this question is very, very important because specifically, I believe that many relationships and marriages fail because it lacks mutual understanding. I'll put it like that. And so, 9 times out of 10, you have, this person over here and this person over here, and they're looking at things from their perspective or their point of view. However, but there's no common ground. And so I think, having a not a foundation that's not as concrete and solid can, make the relationship and marriage a little rocky there. Um,
Right.
and so the question is, what is your take on having an upfront conversation at the beginning of the relationship instead of waiting until you get further on into the relationship?
I personally am for that. I'm a very cutthroat person. I like to get straight to it at the very get go. I like to get straight to it at the very get go. I don't like to wait it out. I like to make sure that we clear things at the very peak of the stuff because I say that time is of an essence. Time is very crucial and is very important. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to entertain something longer than I need to entertain it. So if we have the hard conversations, then we can make the hard decisions early on and we can save each other time.
Right. Awesome. 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 And so I do know that is great insight as to answer that question, especially from a male perspective. 'Cause I do know sometimes female and male may have a different perspective when it comes to, things like that. And so having that upfront conversation is very much needed. And it can just be that icebreaker for the remainder of that relationship and that marriage. A lot of things could come out of just simply having that upfront conversation because as working being busy and all of that stuff and then dating while you're working and your schedule is hectic, that can sometimes cause people to kind of struggle a little bit. And so we have Miss Jacqueline Fleming. How are you?
Really well.
That is awesome. Just like I was telling Minister Walter, I want to thank you as well for coming on and taking your time out of your busy schedule to join in and to just fill us up with wisdom and insight as it pertains to this subject matter. And so I'm very, very excited for you to chime in also and give your point of view and perspective on everything as well. And so what we're
Thank
talking
you.
about
Thank you
now,
for having me. It's a pleasure to meet you,
yes, ma'am.
Minister. The pleasure to meet you, and it's an important topic. So thank you so much for to light. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. This is all God's doing. He put it all together. And so,
Amen.
we want to really, really make it do what it do. And so I was asking Minister Walter this question because I stated that sometimes marriages and relationships, they kind of are a little rocky because they don't start out this way. And that is having an upfront conversation, basically knowing what you're getting yourself into when it comes to having a busy and hectic schedule and dating as well. And so I would like to get your point of view on what is your take on having that upfront conversation at the beginning of the relationship rather than waiting until you get further on in.
Um, I think it's very important. I don't think you should really ever wait until you get way in. I think addressing things is. Yeah, you can't hear me, right?
Yes.
I Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I think it's really important. I don't think you should ever wait to address something that's important to you um, when the relationship starts. These are things that you need to talk about in the beginning, compatibility, what's your take on stuff. And if things evolve and change, then you have to keep your partner abreast of it. You just can't blindside them with stuff. So, yeah, communication and checking in with each other is extremely important.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. And so, Minister Walter, now, do you believe that is it the same for the ministry side? Because I know that Miss Jacqueline Fleming, she's in the entertainment industry, and then you are in ministry. So, is there a difference when it comes to that, or do you think everything kind of ties in together? You see, you can't hear. Hold on 1 second. All right, can y'all hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, you can't hear.
Um, I can't hear the man of God. I can't hear him.
Okay, 1 second. Let's see. Try taking your earphones out. I know you could hear me a little bit with your earphones out. All right. Try
So
to
maybe hold up a sign or write something, but um,
try to take your earphones out.
maybe we should move on to the next
Yeah.
question.
All right. So I also wanted to ask you, why is it important to have that balance in a relationship?
It's important because balance in life is everything. If you're unbalanced, then you're not going to be successful in some area, and balance is absolutely the key. With a relationship, it's love and respect and money and um, laughter and spiritual connection. I mean, it's all of that. You can't
Right.
be unbalanced and win.
Right.
Something or someone is going to lose.
Right. I agree. I agree. So was there ever a time to where you had to actually, put a balance between the two?
Yeah, I mean, I attract men who are very, 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 very successful, and they're married to their work, and it can be challenging at times, when you're trying to have a relationship, and the kind of people that are gravitated to me, I gravitate to. They're really busy, and you have to find your own purpose and just stay as busy as they do, or just say, hey, can we slow down and just have some one-on-one time. And it's been times where I've just been like, this is it. I mean, I'm a workaholic too, but some of the guys I've dated, they're just, woo. They're so successful that work is everything to them.
Right, right. That is great. That is great. So I do know that you are an actor or actress, a producer, and you do it all. And so, with having a busy work schedule, how do you make time for your significant other?
It's challenging. There I do date someone, and I actually had to talk with this person recently and just say, hey, my schedule is even more hectic now because I've added some things on my plate during COVID, and I said I just want to make sure that I'm not neglecting you. Are you okay if I'm reading this script? Are you okay if I'm on film school? If you're okay if I'm doing this while you're around me, because I have to work. I have so much on my plate. I can't not work. And I was like, are you going to be okay with that? Or how do we balance this right now? I really had to check in with them because I work a lot.
Right, right. So it's the small things that matter too. Not just the big things. Right. And that can
Mhm.
go a long way. I've learned that as well. Seeing other people in relationships, you will find those that like the big, extravagant things, and then you'll have some people that just content with, checking up on me, like you said, and all that good stuff. And so I think those are just not just tools, but just principles as well.
Mhm.
For relationships and
Absolutely.
marriages, and so we have to learn the
Mhm.
principles of having an effective relationship and marriage, and I think that alone will cause that foundation to be steady and everything.
Mhm.
Mr. Walter, can you hear now?
I can hear
All
now.
right.
Mr. Walter, I can't see your face. Is there any way you turn your camera up some? Is his face half off for you? There you go.
There we
Now
go.
I can see your face.
All
Agreed.
right, great, great, great. And so we were just diving more into the conversation and everything. And so I wanted to ask you, Minister Walter, with you being in ministry and being a model, how do you handle that? And is there any pressure that comes behind that?
Well, I get asked that question a lot actually. When I went into modeling, particularly, I had a few raised eyebrows, from the church people. Like, what are you doing? How are you going to be a minister, preach, and in a minute you're modeling and you're studying your stuff on on the runway. How do you balance the two? And I always think that I always say that it is important to know what you are called to do and to whom you are called to. When you know your purpose and there is a definition to your purpose and your calling, then there is not a clash in what you do or in the activities of what you do. So, because I'm cognizant of who I'm called to, I know what it is that I need to engage myself in. So it's literally a matter of who are you called to. When Paul was talking, he was saying that when he was addressed, he was saying he's called to the Gentiles, that he may speak, the mysteries of the Lord unto them. So he knew that he was called to the Gentiles. So he carried himself accordingly and did what he needed to do in accordance to his calling. So for anybody who asks me, I just tell them that, you know what, at the end of the day, we've got different races, we're called differently and to do different things. And you run your race while I run my race. As long as I'm in the will of God, then everything should be okay.
Yes, sir. Most definitely, most definitely. Knowing your purpose is the main thing and holding to that. Hey, we have a lot of people that, struggle with that, based upon what people say, what people think. And so once you, like you said, be steadfast and, unmovable in what you know that you're called to do. And everybody's called to do different things, whether you are in the church or whether you're not. You just have to stay in your lane and really know, what it is that you are to be doing to help
Yeah,
impact the world. And
yeah.
so I think that is very, very important. And so I have a question for the both of you, and I think this will be a great balance here for that. While working, oftentimes we, are strictly focused on our, our assignment or what it is that we're doing. How can we expect our significant other to stay faithful?
Okay. That's nice. That's
So I'm
nice.
gonna let Miss Jacqueline answer that first.
That's so funny. You said, how can we expect? Your expectations will let you down every time. And I don't think it's the responsibility for me to keep to make sure that someone stays faithful. I think that's the work on their side of the street,
Right.
their inside work. And if you're dating someone who can't respect a relationship, who
Right.
can't honor you, then it's going to come out and you'll find out that you're not supposed to be with that person. But you
Right.
definitely can't be concerned whether or not they're going to do it. We're human, and nobody's perfect but God, Jesus
Right.
to me. And and I'm like, go ahead and do it, because just go ahead and do it, and just save me time. I can move on to the next person.
Hey, we got the real version, y'all. Hey, we need
Oh,
that.
Please
go
do
do
it.
it.
Most definitely, most definitely. So, Minister Walter, what is your take on that as well?
I agree. I'm not a bugaboo, if you will. I'm not in your business. I don't need to go through your phone. I don't need to know who's calling you. That's just me.
Right.
I think that people are going to do what people are going to do. Even if you try to govern them and to monitor them, you wear yourself out. People are
Mm-hmm.
going to do what people want to do.
Yep.
You can have their password to their phones, you can have the password to their emails, their Facebook. People are going to do what people are going to do.
Yeah.
So I try to reserve my energy
Yeah.
for things that matter,
Mm-hmm.
and let you do what you are going to do, because I believe that nobody can make you do something that you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can tempt you outside of what you want to do. And even when you are tempted, you have the decision within yourself to say, am I going to go for that?
Right.
Or am I not going to? I can't make the decision for you. And I think this is one of the problems that we have in relationships, is we're trying to make decisions for the other person. No, don't talk to that person. No, don't go to that party. No, don't do that. That's not about me. It
Right.
needs to come out of them to say, you know what, I have no business talking to that person that late. I have no business going to that place or doing that because I am in a relationship. That's their responsibility. Once I start taking it on, I'm in a relationship with myself. It's like I'm trying to create them into something that they're not. So I
Right.
think it's about who are you, and I think that is one of the most important things to define before you get into a relationship. How can two walk together unless they agree? How can we agree unless we have clarity of mind of who we are?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so here I kind of want to interject something, for the ones that, want to, I guess, per se, use an excuse or try to go the other route of, trying to hold the other person accountable. And with that, I would like to say, well, it all starts back at the very beginning, having that upfront conversation and literally being honest and being, real and raw. And this is what I'm getting myself into, and this is what you're getting into. And so you can't really hold someone accountable if the foundation was never laid in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah, and at the same time, I think it is like again, it is very important to define and to come to that. For me, I always say that I'd rather you know my dirt, I'd rather you know my weaknesses, you know my ugly side, and then you make an informed decision on whether you want to be with me or not. Because being with you is not going to suddenly heal me from my hurts or fix me from my brokenness.
Right.
It might even expose it further. So when we have that conversation, it's like, listen, I have an anger issue, if that's what it is. Listen, I am bad at focusing, or I'm bad at multitasking, or at putting things. And once I tell you that, then you're like, listen, for me on the list of the people that I'm trying to be with, you have to be good at multitasking, so I can't deal with you. So I can't deal with you. And I always tell people that it's not about being a good person, it's about being the right person. Are you with the right person? God says that it's not good for man to be on his own. I will make him a suitable, or rather a right helper. Are you the right person for that person? You can be good, but are you right?
Right. Right. Absolutely. I 100% agree. And so we're gonna kick it up a notch a little bit here. We're gonna, hopefully don't make nobody mad with this question, but the truth is the truth here. Because we have nosy people and messy people in the church and in the entertainment industry. I mean, you have TMZ waiting on you, you have the
Ah,
shade room waiting on you, and you got whoever's ahead of the news department of the church waiting on you. I mean, everybody's waiting to spill your tea. So, when juggling a relationship and worksmanship, should you keep your relationship private or public? How do you navigate that? I'll ask Minister Walter. Let's start from the church side a little bit first. 'Cause I know Miss Jacqueline's getting her thoughts together, and she gonna hit us in the head.
okay. Where I'm concerned, first of all, sheesh, like you're right, everybody's waiting on your business. Everybody's waiting to sip your
Right,
tea and to spill your tea. That is right. I think within everybody where relationship is concerned, you have a right. This is my own opinion. You have a right to disclose what you want to disclose to the public at large. Now
Mhm.
I understand that to whom much is given, much is expected. And when you've been put on a level of a pedestal, then a city on a hill cannot be hidden. That's scripture. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. And when you are in ministry, you are like a city on a hill. Your light shines, and when it shines, everybody sees it. So when you fall, everybody sees it. When you are up at the mountaintop and everything is going well, everybody sees it. You, I don't know about secrecy. I mean, I don't know about the level of secrecy in terms of I'm not going to disclose that I'm in a relationship. I can say that I'm in a relationship without giving you the details of my relationship. I can tell you that I'm with this person, but without necessarily everything. We have an argument is on Facebook. We're going on a date somewhere. It's on Facebook. I don't necessarily have to do that, because when you do that, you then begin to give people ammunition of how to intervene and how to come in and to mess your things up. So you have to be guarded, because not everybody who is watching you is for you. So it's your responsibility to guard your relationship, not the other person, but to guard your relationship by protecting what you expose.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. So, Miss Jacqueline, are you ready to hit us with some more wisdom.
Well, if you look at my social media pages, you won't see anybody on them. And if you do, they may be like covered up or to the side. You can't see their face. And I do it because um, I date. I'm not married. I'm not engaged. And I may really like somebody and it may be going great for a couple months. And then you start to see things about them or they see things in me. And then we're like, you know what? This isn't what I wanted. And if I put that out there all the time, they'd be like, this girl on a she got a new boyfriend every 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And it's not like that because it's platonic. I'm getting to know them. And, but I do date someone now that I really, really do like. And I still have not put him on my social media page because we've only been dating like 4 or 5 months and it's new. And I don't think nobody just should go up there until it's like a year, maybe. And I just don't, I'm private. I just don't want to share some things with
right.
everybody. I really am. People are nosy and messy.
Hey,
I'm real private with the person I date, and I'm very private with my family. I'm really private like that.
and hey, I respect it. I respect it all. You just got to keep those people out of bound there, because there are some people that are literally jealous, and they're waiting for that opportune time to literally make you look bad for nothing. You know,
Or they'll make the person you date, it could be hurtful for them. Like say I date someone who's in my industry, another actor, and there's somebody that may like that actor, it could be problematic for them.
Right.
Does
yes,
that make sense? And
yes,
it's trivial. Or if I date a writer and somebody like this writer, it could be problematic for me.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So
All
I
right, and
just
so
yeah.
we want to dig a little bit more deeper into
Into it.
we're digging tonight. So how do you adjust when your significant other expresses their need of you, but you're always working? Like I said, you're always working, but they're literally telling you, I need you, not I want you, but I need you. So how do you adjust? I got y'all there.
Ah!
I'll let Miss Jacqueline take that one again.
I don't like the word need. And I don't like I'm not codependent. I did a lot of inside work to be not codependent.
Right,
And I don't want to date anyone who's codependent. So want me but don't need me like that. My If I had kids, my kids need me. But
right,
to me, my spouse or my boyfriend or my man or my fiance um, desire my companionship and want to be with me. And I do listen, and I think that's important. So the guy I'm dating, he said to me, "Hey, I need to blah blah blah, or I want to spend some." And I said, "I got you." You know what I mean? It's a time that you got to set things down, or you're gonna lose people that you care about. It's got to be a balance. We talked
right.
about it. There's got to be a balance.
Absolutely. So, what about from the ministry side perspective? I know there's people that need you to come pray and intercede on their behalf and all of that, that good stuff. And sometimes when that phone gets to ringing, and then your significant other could be like, well, I need you to, I need you, I need you to stay here and stuff like that. So, from a ministry perspective, how would you handle that?
um, I think it's about priorities. I think it's about priorities. There is a difference between want and need. You can go without a want. You can deal without a need. So the question is, do you really need me? So if you know, because once again we said that when God created man, he said, and he created a woman, he says that let me make man a suitable helper. So the union is based on purpose. So our purposes are not contrary, but they're complementary, which means that we understand each other. We're not fighting against each other, we're working together. So
Right,
if you know I need to be in the prayer room, you know I need to be in the prayer room. And three-quarters of the time, you're probably in there with me, because we are working together, we're working as a team.
right,
When I have to, let's say, go on a missionary work, or I have to travel, because like I travel quite a lot in terms of internationally as well as nationally. If I've been invited to go somewhere, be it to do a healing crusade or whatever it is, or to do a concert, and I'm invited somewhere, and I know it's the will of God for me to go there. If there arises a need within you, then I have to prioritize you as my wife. If it's a need, I repeat, if it's a need. When it's a want, then you're now becoming a hindrance to the call and to the purpose. And then we've got a problem. This is when you see people now pulling away from each other because I'm trying to live out purpose and you're supposed to be helping me to live out purpose, but now it's like you're fighting my purpose.
Right.
And this is not just where church is concerned. It could be where the entertainment industry is concerned. Like you have your purpose that God created you, and He given you a gift that this is the assignment that you're on. And if your spouse begins to fight you over that over once, then the question is, are they really the right person for you?
Right.
That's what I would pose.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree. And so now this was the last question for the segment here, and I saved this best question for last here, in case they don't remember nothing else we talked about. This one here, we need to hit this one dead on because you have some relationships to where you have your significant other could just basically give, and then you have some that just simply take and suck the very life out of you. Just be honest here. And so what is the importance, especially, Miss Jacqueline, you've been in the entertainment industry and, you're doing great things over there. And then, you have Minister Walter, who's in the ministry and everything. Why is it important for your significant other to be an asset to your vision and not a liability?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I'll let I'll just say it so we can end on you. I think you want somebody who's going to enhance you at the end of the day. You want someone who's gonna, help you evolve and grow and shine and all of that other stuff. And when you're unequally yoked or someone is like holding you down dead weight, it's pulling you down and you can't pursue your purpose. You can't help others. You can't help yourself. And so for me, I just need someone, whether it's understanding the industry I'm in and being my big support system, or I may be someone that's like, hey, I see your vision and what you're doing. Let me help you financially. If you want to produce a movie, let me help you raise the money for a film. Whatever it is, just don't pull me back this way, because I've had to go so hard to go this way and do so much inside work to become the woman I am. I can't deal with no drama. I can't deal with no chaos. I can't deal with nobody that drink crazy, smoke, do drugs, no sex addicts. I'm not having it. I ain't having it.
I'm not
My
having
life
it.
is peaceful and serene, and I'm Gucci. I just,
I'm good.
we gonna make this money and we gonna live a good life, or deuces.
Hey, she gave it to us like it was. We can kind of barely see you a little bit. It's like your fingers in a way, just a little bit. There we
Yeah.
go. All right. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Walter, do you want to take on that there?
I think it continues. It continues to fall on compatibility. I think it continues to, and that is one of the most. If you're going to achieve the great balance, compatibility is key. Are you compatible? Are you compatible? Are you complementary or are you contrary? This is one of the things that I hear in every relationship that I've ever had to give advice in, even where my past relationship was concerned. Are you compatible? Do you see things the same way? I'm a faith mover. So I could wake up tomorrow and feel that God wants me to produce a movie. I don't know how to produce a movie. I've never produced a movie. I don't know how much it costs. But if I heard it, I move. And I need to be with a person that is going to understand that I've got a faith man, that it doesn't have to make sense. But as long as God has said it, then that settles it. The moment I then have to fight with your unbelief, you become a liability to me and you slow me down. You slow me down in terms of how I'm able to move, how I'm able to advance, how we are able to move. And I don't think that that is the will of God for us. For every person, I believe God has gifted us and put us in different lanes. And I
Mm-hmm.
always say that every lane has its own speed limit. You can't be in a 90 zone traveling 30. This is now when we're dealing with being unequally yoked. If I'm traveling at 90, we need to be traveling at 90 together so that it makes sense. When you're doing 30, that means now I'm having to carry my weight and I'm having to carry your weight. So I'm not as she's like and we can't be productive that way. It is actually very counterproductive. And what it does is in a lot of relationship, it produces burnout. It produces burnout. You begin to feel burnout. You begin to feel frustrated. So now you're angry at everything. Why? It's because you're internally and externally exhausted, because you're having to carry somebody who you're supposed to be walking hand on hand or side by side or working side by side. So I feel that it is very, very important for whoever it is that you are, for them to be a suitable helper, to be a compatible person, that your mind, you interlink. At the end of the day, scripture says it this way: how can two walk together unless agreed? So if we don't agree, like what the woman of God Jack was saying, that if I'm in the entertainment industry, I need you to understand my where I am, because at the end of the day, it's not like you randomly met me somewhere random and you don't know who I am. When you
Yeah.
came to me, you kind of knew that I'm in this field. So therefore, there has to be a level of understanding that you
Right.
have to exude and to give, not to come and then trying to change me, because I don't think that's the will of God for nobody.
Hey, y'all said it all. Y'all said it all, and I want to add something to the both of you, to what the both of you said. And this is more so words of encouragement for anybody. You know, you may be in the spotlight and you may not be, but don't just get with anybody just to have somebody around.
Right.
That is the worst thing you could ever do. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for heartache, headache, high blood pressure, all that stuff, stress, and all the above. You know, make sure you have someone that's. I believe I made a post and said, you know, a relationship is the state of being connected,
Right.
and if they can't help you build, that's not the right one for you.
Ooh.
Because
But yeah, but you learn that. You know, I can't tell you how many Valentines I spent by myself. Some I didn't want to, and some I had to. You know what I mean? Like it was at one point, like, why don't I have a date? Me and my best friend just looking at each other. Me and Mickey. She looking at me, I'm looking at her, and we had Ruth Chris or something. And then it was, you know, and then it was some Valentine's. I was just like, oh, like these guys suck. And then, you know what I mean? And then some
right,
was just like, I don't need no man. I'm good by myself. I'm gonna wait for the right one. So it's like
listen,
waiting makes you stronger.
it does, it does.
It builds
What
strength.
Absolutely. And one thing I've, you know, learned, and like, I'm single, but I learn a lot just by watching and observing. And one thing I've learned about relationships, you know, somebody has to learn and somebody has to teach.
Right.
You know, now it could be doable if both of y'all are learning and whatnot, but I have to learn something from you. And if, like I said, you know, if you're not pushing me and you know, you taking, but not giving, that's a red flag. You don't need no other red flag. That is the ultimate red flag. You just wasting your time, and really I can't feel sorry for you, because then now I'm just gonna think that, you know, you just desperate. I, hey, and you have those, and let's just be honest, you have those that are desperate, you know, but we can't necessarily fault them for that. You know, some people, it's like a learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to kind of meet people where they are, and, you know, not just tell them, you know, the things that they need to be doing, but give them that tip, you know, and that guideline and that pathway of how do I get out of this and how do I do that. And I think, you know, such as a platform as this, you know, we're helping people, you know, not just be a better them when they're single, but be a better them when they're unified with somebody else, whether they're married or just dating. And so that's if y'all don't learn nothing else, listen, don't be getting in relationships just to get into a relationship. Okay. And if you do, we already told you not to. So don't expect nobody to feel sorry for you.
Okay.
And that's just keeping it
Do
100.
that.
I agree, man. I
We're
agree.
just keeping it 100.
I
All
straight
right.
agree.
Well, thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure meeting you as well. And I
Wow.
do thank the both of you once again for taking your time out of your busy schedule and just having fun with me and, you know, dropping some knowledge and insight and wisdom, not just for me, but everybody watching. And so we shall do something again in the near future. And I'm excited about everything that you all have coming up. But before you get off, starting with Miss Jacqueline, can you tell everybody how they can find you and connect with you?
Oh, on at Jack. I am Jacqueline Fleming on Instagram. I am Jacqueline Jaqueline Fleming on Instagram. Jacqueline Fleming.
Awesome, awesome. And do you have any upcoming projects or anything coming up?
Yeah, I do. I have a a a horror film from the producers of Final Destination that's coming out,
All
and
right.
I was recurring on Tyler Perry's season one of Sisters, so hopefully I'll go back maybe for season two. And then I'm a series regular on a streaming series called By Design that just got picked up, and I'm a producer on a project that's going into production, an all-star name, but this that'll be in the trade, so I can't give any info on that, but yeah. And I'm about to direct something, my first project as a director.
That's what you
Awesome.
say. Hey, told y'all she's the
Woo!
boss. She's the boss. Booked and busy. And so, Minister Walter, can you also share where people can find you and connect with you as well?
Yeah, on Facebook, I'm simply Walter Chahwanda. Now that's a mouthful. You're gonna have to look at the flyer. Walter Chahwanda. On Instagram, it's minister underscore model. Now most photographers always ask me, they're like, why minister model? I said, because I'm a minister and I'm a model and I'm a model. But minister underscore model, that's basically that's where you find me, or where my ministry page is concerned, Sound of Dominion Ministries. That's my ministry page on Instagram as well as on Facebook. In terms of what I have coming up, I've got a book that is coming up, hopefully by my birthday in July. It will be officially out. So I'm excited for that. That's my first book. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. They're both doing great things in the world and the community. So you make sure y'all support, connect with them, and make sure you give them some motivation and inspiration as well. Because it's not easy being in the spotlight. It's not easy. And so make sure y'all show them some love and encouragement. All right. I
Yeah.
do
I
think
got
that.
I gotta ask a question. So my mom is a minister and she has a huge ministry in Chicago. So if you are ever interviewing pastors, women pastors, she's also a prophet. I would love for you to interview my mom, Dr. Arnella Pierce, Revelation Ministries.
Oh wow, I would love to meet her. I would
I'm gonna
love to.
tag you on her page.
Please do. Please do. I would
Yeah,
be it would
she's
be an
got a lot of
honor.
wisdom.
Mm.
Hey, I never need too much Jesus. Hey, we need him every day.
Amen.
We need him every day. Well, it is
All
my
right.
prayer that you all have a great, safe, and productive evening.
Thank you.
This corona's out here doing whatever she wants to do. But I'm keeping everybody in my prayers and making sure that everybody's staying out of the pathway and healthy and all of that good stuff. And so y'all have a
Amen.
great evening.
All right, man.
Peace
Thank
and
you all.
love. Peace
God
and
bless you.
love. Bye.
All right. Well, you have heard it from none other than Miss Jacqueline Fleming and Minister Walter Chahwanda. And we have pretty much had a great conversation as it pertains to balancing dating and career. And, listen, you need a balance. If you don't do nothing else, you need a balance. So I pray that you will continue to share this broadcast. If you have not yet checked out my website, www.levelupprostudios.com, make sure that you check out that website for any upcoming updates and all of that good stuff. You can get connected to my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that at Level Up Productions and make sure you tap that bell, the notification bell, so that you are notified every time we drop some content. Now, before we end this live, I did promise a lot of people on yesterday and maybe another day prior that I would reveal who would be a part of next week's episode. The hint was given. She is very much legendary. And so next week, we will be talking about relationship goals. And our special guest is none other than the legendary herself, evangelist Jackie Clark Chisholm from the legendary Clark sisters. So make sure that you tune in, share, subscribe, tell everybody, and let's just make this big. Let's level up together, you guys. All right. So y'all have a great day, a safe day, and listen, keep God first. When you keep God first, your level up won't be in vain. Peace out.